So you just saw a rotary encoder interface to STM32 and its value being recorded in the key debug mode. So where is the rotary encoder used? Rotary encoder is used in industrial control applications and robotics. Hi, my name is Avinash and I love to share knowledge and I am an embedded hobbyist. So in this video we will learn how to write a bare metal code using timer encoder feature and use it for getting data of rotary encoder and use it in our applications. So you are viewing the schematics of the project we are using, and this one is the rotary encoder and it has 5 pins. The basic ones are ground, the power pin, switch, DT and clock. So we are not using switch pin here, and the ground one is denoted by this black wire. The plus sign or the positive or the VCC is shown by the red wire. It is connected to 3.3 volt of the microcontroller, and this DT pin is connected to timer channel 1, and this second one clock is connected to timer channel 2. So timer 1's two channels, channel 1 and channel 2 are used, and we are using it in rotary in timer encoder mode. Whenever you rotate this strobe of the rotary encoder, the reading is reflected in the key debug mode, and you can get that reading in UART and accordingly change your application. So the encoder mode can be used to easily detect if the direction is anti-clockwise or the direction of rotation is clockwise, and how much rotation it is doing, because every special incremental encoder have some fixed PPR rate, means pulse per rotation. In one rotation it can rotate in how many, it can give how many pulses, that is PPR. Suppose if I rotate this strobe once, one complete rotation, and the pulses given are 360, that means 360 PPR is the rate of this rotary encoder. So if you like these videos, please subscribe to my channel, and every subscriber who want to have this code will get this code in his email ID. Please comment on my YouTube channel and get with your email ID and get all the code or the files of the project required to run this code. So let us explain what is happening in this bare metal code. So first we include the header file of the microcontroller used. So this code is generally basic code for all STM family microcontrollers, and which are generally very similar, be it F0 or L4 or any other STM series microcontroller. It will differ only by a little bit. So after that you delete the pointers to different structures you are using. You will declare pointers to RCC type dep, the RCC and reset control block, and the timer 1 that pointer, and the GPIO pointer. After that you will assign that pointers with respective addresses, and after that you will initialize the clock, and you will after that you will select the prescaler. To all my subscribers who are new or who are new viewers, please go to my previous videos for understanding this part, the reset control block and the selection of prescaler, that is this part. And after that you will select the port A. So this we have already discussed. This is port A and we are enabling the port A clock. After that we are enabling timer 1 clock. Now we need to configure the GPIOs which are connected to the pins of rotary encoder, the PA8 and PA9, in alternate function mode. So we will be modifying the motor, AFR1 and the PPUDR register. The PPUDR register is the pull up pull down selection register. So we are selecting the PA8 and PA9 pins as pull down, so that when the pulses arrive, they can easily detect that a high pulse is there on that timer channel. And this motor, we are clearing the 16th bit and the 18th bit. This operation, as we know, is for clearing these 2 bits. So let us see which bits we are clearing. So go to reference manual for it. This is our reference manual. So this is the AFRH, or we can say the AFR1 as denoted by the CMOS header file. So we are clearing the 16th bit, and the other one was 18. This one 16 bit and 18 bit we are clearing. Sorry, this was a motor register. This was not the AFR but the motor register. So search for motor, it is just above this declaration. Motor is, so you can search also. Just go to the search bar, search motor, and go to previous search option. This one is the motor. So we are clearing the 16 and 18 bit. So this is because if we want to configure the pin in alternate function mode, in our case we are using it in timer 1 channel X or 1 or 2 mode. So therefore we are using this value 1 and 0. If we clear the 16 bit, then this will be 0, and by default, as you can see here, this one, these both are 1. 16 and 17 bit are 1. They both have set values. That means 1 value. So if I clear this one, I will get 17 bit as 1 and 16 bit as 0. So the value here will be 1, 0, which is the alternate function mode. So this the pin PA8, check here, mode 8 means PA8, and similarly if I do the similar operation here, the PA9 is in alternate function mode. These both pins or registers are in alternate function mode. Now I go back to the code. AFR1, this one, we are setting the 0th and 4th bit. It means we are giving the AF1 value, the alternate function 1 value, to PA8 and PA9. That now check what are those alternate function values in our data sheet. This is our data sheet, and as you can see, this is the PA8 and this one is timer 1 channel 1. Timer 1 channel 1 value. It can have the PA8 pin can have timer 1 channel 1 value. The PA9 can also have timer 1 channel 2 value. So what are the values for this timer 1 channel 1 and timer 1 channel 2? So as you can see, they both have AF1. As you can see here, AF1 value. So what is the value corresponding to AF1? See in our reference manual. Now search for AFRH. AFRH. Now this is the register we are using. So AFRH. So this is the PA8 for PA8 mode set, and this is for pin number PA9 mode set. So we want the AF1 in both these values. So we need to set 0th and 4th bit. So as you can see, we are setting the 0th and the 4th bit here, which corresponds to AF1 value. So we will set this bit and this bit to get the timer 1 channel 1 and timer 1 channel 2 in the corresponding mode. So as you can see, this is done. Now we will put the PPTR register in pull down mode. So for that corresponding, see your reference manual, and to get corresponding frequency, I will use PSC, ARR and count register, and the PSC register's value have to be 0. So the other part is the other timer registers assignment in encoder mode. So in encoder mode, we assign these registers to, we set some bits and we set some bits. So this is the CCR, of course CR1 for running the timer, and the SMCR register. So let us see what and which bits we are setting. So go to the reference manual, go to advanced timer options, so the menu advanced control timers, this one, and then go to timer registers, and first we go to SM and CR. Drag it a little bit. The SMCR, there it is, SMCR, this one the SMCR, select it. Okay. We are setting 0th and the first bit. So the 0th bit, this one, and this bit we are setting, and for what this SMS is used, let us see. So the last bit we are using the floats and burn. Okay, this one. So we are using this setting, this one, and mode 3. So we are using counter counts up down on both TIF1 and TIF2 edges. depending on the level of weather. So on these two edges, the counter counts. So we are using the encoder mode 3, this mode in our program. Now go to the code back. We are using the CCR register and setting the 0th, 3rd, 5th and 7th. Let us see what are they for. Go to CCR, get a clear view of the menu. CCR. This one is. So we are setting this bit 0 and 3rd and 7th. 0 into 3rd, 5th and 7th one. Let's see what they are used for. The 0 is for capture this one, the active low output mode. This is for output mode, sorry. So 0 1 is this. And this is 1. This is capture mode enabled output or output combined signal without corresponding output. So relevant to us is capture mode enabled. So according to this setting, capture mode is enabled. It means the pulse will be captured on that pen. And we are also setting a 3rd bit. That was, I think, 3rd bit. Yes, that was. So we are making the OC1N active low, and the other one is 5th and 7th. 5th and 7th. So it is same as CC1P description. And go to 7th. Again is same as we did for the previous, as we have discussed before. And this one according to our earlier videos, and as you can see in the reference level, the 0th bit of the CR1 register is used to run the timer. So after executing this code, after compiling this code and programming in your microcontroller, you will, if you turn the end shaft of the encoder, you will get the proper output. And you need to go into the debug mode of the key, and you will see the count values changing. It will increase on one the anti-clockwise direction, and it will decrease on the clockwise direction. So that was from my side. Please subscribe to my channel and comment on it to get the complete code, including all the files of the file. Thank you and have a nice day.